Hello everybody, I'm Jimmy Fantastic. Welcome to my Blood Bowl 3rd season Bretonnian details video. So this is from an old article on Warhammer Community. Unfortunately I've been busy and had problems for a week, but here we go. I'm getting through these now. This is, the new box set is going to have Bretonnians versus Tomb Kings in it. And yeah, I mean, this is it. Look, there they are. The middle guy is the Blitzer. Grail Knight, allegedly a Grail Knight. I may have been a little bit disappointed and said this is the dumbest thing ever. And honestly, it is. Grail Knights are like superhuman dudes, right? They drank from the Grail. They're like gods. They're immortal, all the rest of it. Ridiculously, supernaturally strong, fit, everything else. Beyond peak human, right? Better than Captain America. And yet, they're just strength 3. I mean, that is pathetic. I just don't call them Grail Knights, right? Call them Questing Knights. They've even made a bit of fluff here, right? Bretonnians, after Dagonet the Lion lost the Grail amongst the thousands of cup-shaped trophies in Nuffle's Great Temple, he claimed to have been told by the Lady of the Lake that the Knights of Bretonnia must prove themselves on the gridiron in order to one day claim back the trophy. So it fits that they'd be Questing Knights. Just call them Questing Knights. Or call them Knight Blitzers. I hate that they've called them Grail Knights. There you go. And this one is a catcher. A Knight Catcher is suitably bizarre, and a Knight Thrower is very bizarre. And then rather than having peasants, which really made no sense, right, when you think about it, they've got Squires as the linemen. The Squires don't look very heavily armoured though, do they? I wouldn't be surprised to see these be AV8+, and if they are, they're not going to be a great team. If they're AV9+, they could be decent. Right, let's read this. Yeah. Heroic Knights and hardy Squires. Knights are very much the stars of the show. Catchers and throwers have catch or pass. Both come with nerves of steel. Grail Knights start with block. Also, all Knights have Dauntless. We knew some of this already from Gautier. Said some things, from Blood Bowl 3. He was able to clarify things without breaking his NDA. So, things that were mentioned in the article. So, we'd already knew this before a week ago. It's very bad, isn't it, this delayed videos, but there you go. I mean, this high risk, high reward style of play is nonsense, isn't it? The Dauntless embarking on a quest to take down bigger, tougher foes is kind of silly, but it fits Knights thematically, right? It fits Knights being brave and stuff and taking things on, and it does work thematically, and also for the box set, right? It makes sense. You've got to have humans, so people can associate with them, and then you've got to have bad guys, and then also, you've got if you've got 4 strength 5 guys, you've got to give them some way of dealing with that. So, it makes a lot of sense to give them 6 Dauntless there. No horses on the pitch though, tragedy. Okay, and some nice art here. Grail Knights are your blockers and blitzers. Come with block. Even with a modest strength 3. I mean, he ain't a Grail Knight, I'm sorry. He just isn't. A mighty 10+ armor, which is pretty cool, isn't it? And movement 7. So, and they've got steady footing. So, this is okay, but it's just not like they had to be strength 4 to be called a Grail Knight. Just call them a Questing Knight, call them a Knight Blitzer, and I'm fine. Have a star player that's a Grail Knight. Right, and that have the star player be like Griff and be like, this is a Grail Knight. That makes sense. This is just not a Grail Knight, even though it's cool having movement 7 with AV 10+. The fact that they've had a mighty 10+ armor, like the way they're saying it like that, kind of makes you worried that the others don't. But I mean, looking at them, they're not particularly better armored than the other Knights, are they? So the other Knights, but that might make them too expensive, right? If the throwers and catchers aren't very good, they might be too expensive if they're AV 10+. And if this is AV 10+, maybe this is AV 9+, right? Maybe. And then we've got the steady footing skill. Again, we already had this clarified by Gautier, but for people who didn't have it already clarified, it's when they knock down or fall over. So this works if you fail a dodge, right? A dodge or a rush. If you fail a dodge or a rush, or you skull on a 2 dice block your pick, or if you get knocked over on your opponent's turn from like a bomb even, right, or a knockdown, whatever. This player does not get knocked over if you roll a 6. So it's like a ward save, isn't it? And if it happens during your activation, you can continue their activation as normal and no turnover will be caused. So that's like really good when you're trying like a 6+ dodge into a cage. You can roll a 6, then you can use a team reroll to reroll that 6. And then you can, if you fail, you can then try and roll a 6 with a steady footing. And then if you fail, you can re-roll that. That's if we can still use multiple re-rolls. We're not sure that we can still use multiple re-rolls in one turn. That could be gone, couldn't it? It could be gone. But at least you'll have 3 chances to get into it to roll a 6, and maybe 4 chances. Actually, you could just have dodge as well. You could just have the dodge skill, couldn't you? Because the other article mentioned having dodge and sidestep, so I really hope they get strength. It makes no sense if knights don't get strength access. I don't think the catchers or throwers will get strength access though. So catchers movement 7, throwers movement 6 makes sense. Only a 3+ passing ability for the thrower is kind of sad, isn't it? But I guess that makes him cheaper, right? You've got to think about this, like, if you're paying for like something rubbish, it's not so good, is it? So they're not really paying for passing abilities. They might be okay. I mean, we don't have that much information to go on. Nerves of Steel, not super good, but it can be okay, right? Like, it's one of those things. It's nice to have. You'd never take it. I think it's good to give players things like that, and obviously it fits, right? They've got Nerves of Steel because they're knights. I like giving them skills they would never take to start with. Because you still get use out of them. They're just not worth the opportunity cost of like taking block or whatever. Then we've got some more art and the Squire. He's got bare skin, hasn't he? I feel like he's going to be AV 8+, but they might be AV 9+. They might be. Squires. Similar to a standard human lineman with movement 6, strength 3 and agility 3+, as you'd expect. They don't mention the AV value. If your opponent has the ball and you're desperate to snatch it back, they have wrestle. So that's really great, isn't it? It's a great lineman. Yes, block is better. Obviously, it causes damage. Wrestle doesn't. But wrestle's still nice, and it means you can sack the ball easier. So it's interesting, wrestle spam, like obviously Norse have got block spam. If these guys are AV 8+, Norse will just be way better. If they're AV 9+, which you'd hope they are, they might be quite expensive, but I think they'll be quite good. Yeah, very good lineman there potentially. And then they are going to have a spike issue with Bretonnians in, and they've got these as if they're peasants, but obviously they don't have peasants, they have squires. That made much more sense. Like, I always thought it was stupid, the idea of having peasants and knights in the same team, because you've got like thousands of peasants for each knight, haven't you? So it doesn't really make any sense. It makes much more sense to have the squires and knights. So yeah, not too many spoilers there, but enough to give us something to go on anyway. And yeah, apologies for not covering this earlier, but as I say, I've been busy and I've had real life things go wrong. So, but there you go. Anyway, right, the others will be. I should be more on the ball with further things. Right, thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and stay fantastic.